Dr. Chee, please.
Mr. Chairman, my fellow speakers, friends, ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank the NUSS for this opportunity to address you and for the erudition of the speakers who spoke before me, and as well as I'm sure those who follow. Ours is a society that celebrates wealth. Nothing wrong with that. But when that is all we celebrate, then I submit to you that we are in fact not a wealthy people. We are a society starved in spirit, one that is morally bankrupt, and one without a soul. We are too afraid to speak up when we see injustice, too driven by material wealth to care about what happens to our fellow citizens. I don't say this lightly. A few months ago, I had an Australian friend who visited Singapore, and she told me she went out for dinner at a hawker center. And she was shocked to see when an elderly lady came up and started cleaning a table and clearing the dishes. And yet for us Singaporeans, we don't bat an eyelid. We take it in our stride and think that that's the natural order of things. But that's not even the saddest part. Many of such elderly workers are paid pittance. I met a cleaner, Mr. Ramley, it's not his real name. He was employed by a town council, a PAP town council, I might add. I struck up a conversation with him and learned that he was in his mid-70s. He worked 6 days a week, sweeping the grounds, starting at about 7 in the morning and not finishing until about 2 in the afternoon. His salary, $400 a month. On the other end of the spectrum, we have people who hail themselves as society's talented and that they should be paid top dollar for the skills that they possess. I am, of course, talking about Mr. D'Souza's party bosses, the ministers, who in their infinite wisdom see it fit to pay themselves 500 times the salary Mr. Ramley is paid. The PAP likes to use the term free market system to describe this horrific imbalance. At the SDP, we have another word for it. It's called exploitation. We must restore some sanity to our system. We must inculcate a sense of morality. This is why we advocate the introduction of a minimum wage law to prevent such, quite frankly, immoral exploitation of people like Mr. Ramley. We will be campaigning on this policy in the coming general elections. Another matter that we will be campaigning on is the lowering of the cost of living in Singapore. We need to reduce fees and taxes like the GST, the prices of HDB flats, public transport fares, etc., all of which conspire to make this life unthinkably stressful for working Singaporeans. Third, we will continue to push for a Singaporean first policy. I say continue because we campaigned on this issue 10 years ago at the 2001 general elections. We proposed that the government provide incentives for the employers to hire Singaporeans first and retrench them last. Currently, it seems to be the other way around. Now, these three policies are among the many that we have proposed in our alternative economic program. It's entitled, It's About You, where we lay out a comprehensive, realistic, and workable plan to take our economy forward. It's available for purchase. This message is what I would like you, my friends, to take home with you this evening. which is that the SDP has a viable alternative plan for Singapore. We are not just an opposition to the PAP. We offer Singaporeans a clear and compelling alternative vision, one that provides the people a real choice at the next elections.